ngayong mga probably nangyayari, which is online shopping at ang inyong rights and usual contractual issues. So, ang ating dahilan why I picked this topic is, especially now, napakalamig, a lot of people would just buy online. May Royal Mail strike. So again, another pro tip, marami ngayon na pinipili yung other post or dispatch or courier services. Evri is one of them. Very good in my opinion. Yun ang, hindi po tayo sponsored. But I've had problems with Royal Mail in the past. So one thing to look at, tip number 1 natin with online shopping, or more formally known as distance selling, involving consumer contracts pa rin. Tip number 1, basahin before, basahin niyo po yung contracts, basahin niyo yung terms and condition bago kayo mag-buy o press okay or confirm dyan sa inyong online purchase ngayong Pasko. Yung unang sinasabi ko, review niyo muna ano ba ang kanilang shipping details. Royal Mail ba yan? Royal Mail is going on strike dito sa UK. That's our biggest courier provider normally. But they are going, and they've been on strike a number of days. Ako ay ilan ng package ko ang hindi nakaabot. Actually, a couple of packages hindi nakaabot para dun sa intended nila na purpose, but it was my fault dahil hindi ako nagbasa ng disclaimer nila na baka sila ma-delay, at hindi rin nila obviously kasalanan dahil ang Royal Mail was the one who's implementing these strikes. What I've gathered is mostly on other online shops, they are using an alternative service provider. Pero ang lesson po dyan ay hindi lang about couriers at kung sino ang gagamitan. Ang lesson po dyan, basahin pa rin. Just like normal contract na face-to-face o papel at ballpen na pinirmahan mo, pareho pa rin po ang expectation sa inyo. Pag pinirmahan mo yan, pag pinrest mo yung tick box na yes doon, it is taken as if you've read it. Hindi naman natin sinasabi na basahin mo na, you spend hours and hours on it. Get the gist, get the understanding of what's expected, especially kung big purchase yan, kung malaking sum of money ang involved. It's very, very good to just look at it and look at baka may special na provisions yung merchant nyo o yung seller. Again, check for, isa din to, just like in a normal contract na may papel at nasa harap nyo. Check for fine print, baka may mga excluded dyan o bawal, hindi nila, they won't refund you for this or that. So check for fine print, yung maliliit na nasa bottom. Look for that as well. Now, for online shopping, or what we call distance selling, you have this right to cancel. You can return the item within 14 days. You don't need to give a reason. And I've actually tested that in reality. As you can probably know by now, isa akong fan ng online shopping dahil walang time. And also, pag winter, nakakatamad lumabas. -6, -3, -1 degree. At lalo na nung pandemic, lahat tayo siguro we're using Prime, Amazon a lot, we're using online shopping a lot. So you get to learn all this nuances ng rights mo with online or distance selling. I managed to return a top. Wala namang mali dun sa top, or I think it was a jacket. Hindi ko lang natansya masyado yung size. Tayo pa namang Pilipino, hindi ganun kasakto yung size natin doon sa normal size nila dito. We're on Asian petite size. So ako minsan, trial and error. Hindi ko naman alam na malaki pala or hindi pala naayon sa usual sizing ko. So I returned it, no problem at all. Refund was given. I returned it within the time, so balik nyo po within the time period noted, because if you do exceed that, wala na, hindi, ano din sila doon, very, very, quite strict sila doon. Other shops would give you longer. I've heard of shops na 28 days ang allowed ka to give it back. No reason needed. Sometimes they would even put a postal there free to give it back, to return it to them, and then they'll just refund it through your card. So yun ang mga tips. That's the biggest thing about online distance selling or online shopping. That's the right of cancellation without the need to give reason. And at the very, very least, they should give you 14 days. Some shops would give you more. Now, next one is very important. Siguro narinig nyo na to sa mga kaibigan nyo. Naku, sasabihin sa'yo, naku mare, gamitin mo yung credit card mo pag bibili ka ng malaking item dahil may extra protection ka. That is true according to Section 75 of Consumer Credit Act. But that only applies to purchases from £100 to £30,000, because it's as if na yung credit card company mo ang nagagaranty din dun sa purchase na yon. So it's another layer of protection. At kung magkakaroon ng problema with quality, with just any problem at all, you can contact the credit card issuer. So for bigger purchases, mga malalaking purchases, use your credit card. Obviously, use it responsibly. But that's the extra protection. And actually, I will say it later, dahil ito sa pinaka next topic, sasabihin yan pag tumawag kayo dun sa action, fraud, na departamento ng police. Bibigyan nila yan na kung credit card, kung ang item nyo na binili ay you bought it via credit card, meron kayong extra layer of protection. Next, what if may nangyaring sinister? What if may nabudol tayo, na-scam tayo online? A word of caution to everyone, it's everywhere. Talaga, kahit ako, muntika na ako, I've heard of people being scammed. They're getting more sophisticated. Talagang napaka-moderno, napaka-advanced na ng ginagamit nilang modus operandi, techniques in order to scam a lot of people, especially around this time that people save up for Christmas, people are spending for their loved ones. Lahat tayo online, we're looking for deals, we're looking for kung ano yung sale, we're looking at different websites. Marami, malaki ang activity ngayon sa cybersphere. Marami ang mga transaction na nangyayari. So be very, very aware. If you think something is off, I think best to follow your instinct at mag-ingat. Pag may nangyari, pag sa tingin mo na misuse yung card mo, or there's a fraudulent transaction, biglang nakita mo, please check your statements as well. Yung bank statement mo, kung nag-online banking ka, it's always good to look at your statements every few days or every day. At least nakikita mo, lahat ba yan, transaction mo? Sa'yo ba yan? Ikaw ba yung bumili niyan? O kaya baka si Mrs. At least yung pamilya mo. But if not, you have to contact the bank straight away. Depende po sa bank provider nyo. Yung sa akin, they would ask to be contacted by telephone dahil may specific department sila to deal with a fraud or a fraudulent transaction or a scam. Call them straight away. Wag nang paligoy-ligoy. Straight away, get it reported. Next, report it to Action Fraud. Action Fraud po ay specific na departamento ng police. You can look them up online. Andun yung number nila, andun yung online nila na form. You can report it straight away and directly. Not necessarily that you go to a police station. Mas madali po to. And try to call the merchant. So, obviously, depende sa situation. You can still try to talk to the merchant and say, ano ba to? Bakit parang kumuha kayo ng much more than I allowed? So, nangyari yan sa akin, binalik yung pera ko. And I luckily, pa-change ako ng card kasi pa-expire yung card ko. So they were quite worried na baka ma-misuse uli yung card ko. So that's one thing too. Kung card nyo ay na-misuse, it's quite important to ask for advice from the bank kung ano yung hindi lang i-stop and recover yung pera, but also to make sure na in the future secured po kayo. So that's very, very important. If there is something that you can remember from this session, mag-iingat sa online scam, online fraud. Hopefully hindi mangyari. Kung may nangyaring masama, tawag agad sa action fraud, tawag agad sa bangko so that you can stop the transaction. It is possible in some instances to stop the transaction kung madali nyo, mabilis yung nakikita. Now we go back to the contract. Nag-segue tayo sa problema agad kasi galing tayo credit card to sa protection ng credit card. So, kung ang problema naman hindi naman scam at hindi naman fraud, problema lang medyo naughty yung merchant, hindi ka binigyan ng ano ba tong kalidad nito, hindi naman gumagana to. Actually, you don't have to, hindi naman kailangan ilagay dun sa kontrata na gano'n na expectation nyo. Kumbaga sa atin, given na yan. We call it implied terms of contract. Given na yan na kailangan yung ibebenta sa yung produkto. Number one, fit for purpose. So pag sinabi, I just bought a contact lens cleaner, so kailangan, ina-expect ko yun, fit for purpose na contact lens cleaner nga siya. Next is it matches the quality and description. So kung sinabi nila, brand new, you expect a brand new, hindi second hand na contact lens cleaner. Sinabi nila, they described it as that was a UV cleaner, hindi daw na specially to clean out the debris on your contact lens. Then I'd expect it to be a UV cleaner for contact lens. Hindi naman na parang ano lang siya, normal na cleaner lang, or it's just something na a contact lens case. So yun ang sinasabi natin, you don't need, hindi na kailangan sabihin, hindi pwede sabihin ng seller na, naku, wala naman sa kontrata yan, hindi ko naman sinabi sa'yo na may bibigay ko sa'yo ganyan. So there are certain expectations, certain rights as a consumer here in the UK na given na, implied na, you can get the protection for the law for your products na binili to be fit for purpose and for them to match quality and description. And lastly, minsan talaga may, hindi lang talaga, siguro may misinterpretation, may miscommunication, may dalawa kayo ng seller mo, may hindi kayo, you didn't agree on something. Look at the complaints procedure before you go all out sa before you sue them in court, dahil mahal pumunta sa court. If you can get it sorted within a few weeks na mabilis at makabalik kayo sa napaka-positive na mood ng Christmas, all the more the better. So look at the complaints procedure, try to talk to them. This is a very pragmatic and hopefully informative dagdag kaalaman. Yun ang aking listahan at kumbaga aking last few guidance before the year ends. So over to you, Mr. Laragan.